Welcome to Exploring the Ancients. I'm your host, Herodotus. Today, we embark on a fascinating journey through the misty veil of time to explore the enigmatic world of the Vikings. These Norse seafarers, known for their fearless raids and intrepid explorations, have captivated our imagination for centuries. As we delve into the earliest history of the Vikings, we find ourselves in the midst of a complex tapestry woven from threads of mythology, legend, and historical fact. Our narrative begins around the 8th century, in the fjord-lined landscapes of Scandinavia, where the Viking Age was unfolding. It was an era marked by significant social, economic, and cultural transformations. The Vikings were not a single, homogeneous group, but rather a collection of tribes and clans, each with their distinct customs and traditions. They inhabited present-day Denmark, Norway, and Sweden, regions that would eventually become the cradle of Viking civilization. One of the pivotal figures in early Viking history is the legendary Ragnar Lothbrok, a warrior and leader who, according to Norse sagas, lived in the 9th century. Though shrouded in myth, Ragnar's exploits are often seen as emblematic of the Viking spirit. Bold, adventurous, and fiercely independent. His sons, including Bjorn Ironside and Ivar the Boneless, would go on to play significant roles in shaping the destiny of the Viking world. As we navigate the early Viking landscape, we find ourselves in the midst of bustling trading centers like Hedeby in present-day Denmark and Birka in Sweden. These towns were not only commercial hubs but also melting pots where Vikings interacted with merchants and travelers from all over Europe, exchanging goods, ideas, and cultures. The Vikings were master craftsmen, and their artifacts, such as intricately designed jewelry and weaponry, attest to their skill and artistry. The Vikings' interaction with the natural world was deeply spiritual, reflecting a profound respect for the land and the gods they believed inhabited it. Their mythology is filled with tales of Odin, Thor, and Freya, deities who embodied the forces of nature and human destiny. This religious landscape would eventually influence their encounters with Christianity, setting the stage for a complex period of conversion and cultural transformation. As we conclude our exploration of the Vikings' earliest history, we stand at the threshold of an era that will be marked by daring voyages, fierce battles, and profound cultural achievements. The stage is set for the emergence of legendary figures, the establishment of new trade routes, and the expansion of Viking influence across Europe. Join me as we embark on this thrilling journey through the annals of Viking history, a tale of adventure, courage, and the indomitable human spirit. Welcome back to Exploring the Ancients. I'm your host, Herodotus. As we continue our journey through the fascinating world of the Vikings, we now find ourselves at the pinnacle of their power and influence, a period marked by daring voyages, fierce battles, and profound cultural achievements. This was an era when Viking heroes rose to legendary status, empires clashed, and the very fabric of European society was forever altered. It is around the 9th and 10th centuries that we witness the Vikings at the height of their influence, with their reach extending from the distant shores of Iceland to the bustling markets of Byzantium. One of the pivotal figures of this period is King Harald Fairhair, who united Norway under a single rule, laying the foundation for a more centralized power structure that would enable further expansion and consolidation of Viking territories. The Vikings were master navigators and traders, and their extensive network of trade routes spanned across Europe, connecting the North Sea to the Mediterranean. They traded goods such as furs, wool, and amber for silver, gold, and other precious commodities. The Viking town of Hedeby in present-day Denmark was a major commercial hub, attracting merchants from all over Europe. It was here that one could find exotic spices, fine silks, and intricately crafted jewelry, testifying to the Vikings' far-reaching connections. Their interaction with other cultures was not limited to trade. The Vikings were also known for their raids and conquests. The Viking invasion of England, for instance, left a lasting impact on the language, culture, and politics of the region. The Danelaw, as it came to be known, was an area in eastern and northern England under Viking control, where Scandinavian customs and laws prevailed. As we delve deeper into this period, we are met with stories of legendary figures such as Eric the Red, who founded the first Norse settlement in Greenland around 985. His son, Leif Erikson, is believed to have established a settlement in present-day Canada, known as Vinland, around 1000, making him the first European to reach North America, centuries before Christopher Columbus. The Vikings' seafaring prowess and their ability to adapt to new environments allowed them to thrive in diverse landscapes, from the icy tundras of Greenland to the fertile plains of England. Their ships, with their shallow drafts and symmetrical ends, were perfectly designed for both oceanic voyages and inland raids, symbolizing their dual role as explorers and warriors. As the Viking Age reached its zenith, we see a complex interplay between pagan traditions and the emerging influence of Christianity. The introduction of Christianity would eventually lead to significant changes in Viking society, influencing their art, literature, and even their perception of the world. However, during this period the old gods still held sway, with Odin, the Allfather, watching over his people as they set out on their grand adventures. In the words of the Norse sagas, "Cattle die, kinsmen die, we ourselves shall die. But the fame we do in life, that is what never dies." This sentiment encapsulates the Viking spirit, a blend of fatalism, courage, and the pursuit of glory. It was this spirit that drove them to explore, to conquer, and to leave an indelible mark on history. As we conclude our exploration of the Vikings at the height of their power, we are left with a sense of awe at their achievements and a deep appreciation for the lasting impact they had on European history. Their legacy can be seen in the languages, cultures, and landscapes they touched, a testament to their indomitable will and adventurous spirit. Welcome back to Exploring the Ancients. I'm your host, Herodotus. As we conclude our journey through the fascinating world of the Vikings, we now delve into the decline of the Viking Age, the conversion to Christianity, and the lasting legacy of these Norse seafarers. The 11th century marked a significant turning point in Viking history, as the raids and conquests that had characterized their society for centuries began to subside. Several factors contributed to this decline, including the unification of European kingdoms, which led to more organized defenses against Viking attacks, and the gradual adoption of Christianity among the Viking populations. The conversion to Christianity was a complex and multifaceted process, with different regions and communities adopting the new faith at varying rates. In Norway, for example, King Olaf Haraldsson played a crucial role in introducing Christianity, using a combination of persuasion and coercion to convert his subjects. The establishment of the Archbishopric of Nidaros in 1152 further solidified the position of the Christian Church in Norway. In England, the Viking legacy can be seen in the Danelaw, where Scandinavian customs and laws continued to influence local culture long after the initial Viking invasions. The Norman conquest of 1066 also had a significant impact on English society, as many Normans were themselves descended from Vikings who had settled in France. As the Viking Age drew to a close, the Norse seafarers left behind a lasting legacy that can be seen in the languages, cultures, and landscapes they touched. In Iceland, for example, the medieval Icelandic manuscripts known as the sagas provide a unique window into Viking culture and society, offering insights into their mythology, laws, and social norms. The Vikings also had a profound impact on the development of European trade and commerce. Their extensive network of trade routes, which spanned from the North Sea to the Mediterranean, helped to establish new markets and facilitate the exchange of goods such as furs, wool, and amber. In the words of the medieval Icelandic historian Snorri Sturluson, the Vikings were a great and powerful people who explored and settled new lands and left behind a legacy that will be remembered for generations to come. This sentiment encapsulates the enduring spirit of the Vikings, a blend of courage, curiosity, and determination that continues to inspire and fascinate us today. As we conclude our journey through Viking history, we are left with a deep appreciation for the complexity and richness of their culture, as well as the lasting impact they had on European society. From their daring voyages and conquests to their conversion to Christianity and eventual decline, the Vikings remain one of the most fascinating and enigmatic peoples in human history. In the end, it is not just the grand deeds and heroic exploits that define the Viking legacy, but also the quiet, everyday moments of life in a Viking community. The sounds of laughter and storytelling around the fire, the smell of wood smoke and salted fish, and the feel of rough-hewn stone and weathered wood beneath one's hands. It is this intimate human side of Viking culture that continues to captivate our imagination and inspire our curiosity about these remarkable people. Join me next time on exploring the ancients as we embark on a new journey through the annals of history, exploring the lives and cultures of other fascinating civilizations that have shaped the world we live in today. That's all for today's History with Herodotus. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, remember that to understand the present, we must first understand the past.